Okay, so today we are cleaning out the chicken coop because my compost pile needs a little help, and we're just going to clean it out and bring it over to the compost pile. The chickens think I'm here to give them some food, but I don't have anything today, but they'll be happy I cleaned their chicken coop out. So it's been 24 hours and we're going to reveal the results so far of the two starters. This starter is our Starboard Farms starter, and if you'll notice, here's our rubber band, and I don't see much growth in that starter. This is our simple starter that actually, I cheated and peeked a little bit last night, came completely out of the jar, but it's gone back down since then. But it's nice and bubbly, and it smells like yeast. And so we probably have, from the rubber band to the top of where the yeast or the starter is probably about an inch and a half. From where we started yesterday. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is feed the simple starter, and it says add a half a cup of flour and a little less than a half a cup of water. I'm actually going to mix these two together in here before I put them in the mix, just because I think it'll be easier to mix it than adding the dry ingredients and then adding the wet ingredients. So let's mix this up. Okay, so we're going to add that to the simple starter. And I'm going to stir it. It actually doesn't give instructions whether you stir it or whether you don't. But I'm assuming just putting that feeding it and just letting it be on top is not what needs to happen. If you know, this is my first time doing starter, you guys, so if you know something different, please drop it in the comments and let me know if I'm making a mistake or if I'm doing something I shouldn't do. I'd appreciate any help you can give me. So that's the simple starter with adding the flour and water to it 24 hours. Okay, so the Starboard Farms sourdough starter tells me that on day 2 I should see tiny bubbles, and they should be forming at the top of the mixture. To stir the mixture with a wooden spoon and cover again with a cloth. It does not tell me to add to that. I'm going to show you what I actually see up close before I stir that. You'll notice that there's it's separated, and there's a liquid layer, and then there's that flour layer, and so I don't actually see bubbles, and I don't know if I can get you inside there to look, but I don't actually see bubbles. But I'm going to stir it and cover it back up like the instructions tell me to. So we're stirring that. And it looks like it's pretty well mixed together. And I'm covering it back with the cloth, and we will check back in 24 hours. Try to keep a good layer of grass on top. That helps keep down the smell of the compost.
Getting there. You can smell it.
Bad?
No, it smells like dirt. It's old.
Let's break it down right there.
Yeah. You know, when you go out in the woods,
Yeah.
dig up the leaves and stuff, it smells. It's got that smell to it.
Piece of a gate right here is to keep our dogs out. They like to go in here and eat the garbage and then get sick off of it, so. But that works good. Just got through mowing half of this back field back here, and I always love coming back here and scooping up grass, or anywhere he cuts. I like scooping up the grass and adding it to the compost as well. But we're headed out here right now to give the baby deer a little bit of corn. So we have to put the feeder up high enough where the bears can't just demolish the corn feeder. However, they already have taken the bottom off of it. One morning we came out and the spinning part of the feeder was on the ground, and so was a whole pile of corn. It just dumped out.
It's 2 bags full, 100 pounds of corn on the ground.
Yeah. If you didn't hear that, the feeder holds 100 pounds of corn, and so it was 2 bags worth of corn on the ground.
So needless to say, it was Thanksgiving for the deer and the bear.
Yeah, they've had a feast for a little while.
Enough for the babies. So what we've noticed is the baby deer have been coming out a lot earlier than I've got the timer set. So the timer's set for like 7:40. It's still a little light. It spreads the corn, and then probably 20 minutes after that the deer come out. So these babies have been coming out right around 6:30. So there's no corn for them. So I'm taking a little bit of hand corn and throwing it out here. If they keep coming out, then I'll change my timer to a 6:30 to go off at 6:30, and then to go off at 7:40. I'll have 2 times. But I want to make sure they got some kind of food, and just keep them coming around, feel like they're safe around here. They're not coming after me, so don't worry about that. So I wanted to throw some of this corn. I'm just going to throw it out by hand just to kind of give them something to eat.
Homestead peeps, so this is day 3 of the check-in of the 2 sourdough starters. This is the simple sourdough starter, and if you want to, let's take a look at it up close. And I don't feed this. I don't do anything to it except put the lid on it and put it in the refrigerator today. So I'm gonna let you look at this up close. So it says after the first 48 hours, we put the jar in the refrigerator, and the next day tomorrow I'm going to take it out and leave it on the counter for 2 hours, and then I'll put it back in the refrigerator. But I'm going to put a lid on it, but I'm not going to do it real tight. I'm just going to kind of keep it loose so that if there are any gases that need to escape from this, that they can. But if you'll look at the rubber band, it's grown that much, and it's starting to get a little bit of a separation, but it is starting to also get a little bubbly. So we're gonna put it in the refrigerator and see how it goes. Ready? So this is the Starboard Farms sourdough starter. Today, I don't do anything. I need to wait 72 hours before I feed this starter, and I'll add another cup of flour and another cup of water. But it's saying that my starter should be bubbly, and it is a little bubbly, but it's also, if you look down here on the side, there's this level of separation down there, and that's, I don't know. Could you tell me in the comments, is this supposed to happen? Or is this unusual? Should I be doing something like stirring it or whatever? Because according to the article, as best I can understand, is I don't do anything to it for 72 hours. So let me know in the comments. Okay, So just a couple of things about the sourdough starter I wanted to point out was that if you repeatedly feed your starter and bake with it a lot of times, the simplified starter, I kind of feel like the commercialized yeast that we started with gets replaced by the natural yeast in the air and in the flour, since the commercial yeast doesn't do real well in that acidity of the sourdough. So so this starter kind of sort of purifies itself. Step is going to be taking the 2 sourdough starters and actually baking bread with them. So we're not only going to measure how much the starter grows and how well it does, but we're also going to put each starter in the identical bread recipe, and we're going to bake the bread and compare the two from the 2 starters. So stay tuned for that update, and we will let you know how it goes.
Hi guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what was your favorite part of this video. Thanks for watching.